So we actually have people out there with this Chase Bank quote unquote so-called glitch where people are actually using their bank account that they set up with their ID, with their information, and they're putting fake checks in there to let them clear for the 24 hours, take the money, and then when the bank sees that that check was fraudulent, they go into their account and the account is negative. People are also applying for loans and they're getting approved for the loans, taking the money, and then when they ask for the required paperwork, they don't have the paperwork, and then they call the loan due. These are gimmicks that people are utilizing right now to get some money, but they don't know that these come with very high repercussions. And also, someone had criticized me in the past and they said, well, if you're going to run out of people that have credit problems if they just started giving money away to people or whatever. What they said, something like that. And I was like, this type of stuff here is what keeps loading us up with more customers than we can even keep up with. Because when people do stuff like this, other than like legal ramifications would be or credit ramifications at the beginning that would be the minimum, like not being able to move forward because you're going to have this collection on there from this bank saying that you owe this money, not being able to move forward because you might have a judgment against you, not being able to move forward with your credit because you have these outstanding issues from doing something that is technically illegal. And then if you go even go even further to have legal ramifications, because if you're doing stuff like this stuff is going to end up nothing but getting you in trouble. So stay away from it. So, you see the stuff talking about it's a glitch and this and that. I've seen this stuff before, and actually, my company was a victim of this. And where former employee had utilized a payroll check, gave it to somebody, and they were able to get money from our account. The money was given back to us, but still, this individual's reputation is ruined because once they tracked them down, they said that was the individual who gave them the check that they utilized. And then also back in the past, when I first became aware of this type of scam, it was probably somewhere in the early 2000s when we were in the horse business, and my wife received a check for $15,000 for one of the horses that we were selling. And then we didn't send the horse yet, but the check ended up being a fraudulent check. It was actually written from an account of a charity, of a church charity, but it had the check was washed and put with some other person's information on there. So actually a victim twice, because we didn't get to sell the horse and they ended up taking the money back because the check was no good. So let me tell you what you need to do. If you've done something with this, I need you. Well, I'm not going to say I need you. You need to be proactive about this because, and we've dealt with this. 4 clients that have done something similar. They watch one of these gurus on YouTube. They were told to go get a business loan. To go get an auto loan, and then they didn't get the auto loan, and they converted into a personal loan, and they were in trouble. What we did is we tell people, because you're getting a loan under false pretenses when you do that, and it can come back to get you. What we tell people to do is you got to be proactive. The first thing you need to do is you need to give as much money back, if not all of it, back ASAP, because you don't want this to get worse. You don't want this to balloon up on a legal side where they're coming after you, suing you, or they're trying to get law enforcement after you. Because think about it this way. If there's an issue where there's a large amount of loss with a bank or with some institution or with a business, that's going to trigger to where different law enforcement groups are going to get involved in it. It's going to actually make it to where they're going to get funding to actually set up a department to actually handle that issue. Now, if it's like one offs or two offs, they kind of stand back on stuff like that and just let the legal, let that company deal with it through the legal means that they have available. But when you have a whole bunch of people doing it, that's like a conspiracy that's being put together, and you better bet that these companies and government organizations with law enforcement are going to start coming down on people. And so, what we've as advice to people is that you got to be in front of this, because here are the repercussions. So, repercussions on the credit side, you're going to have this. If you're going to have this information about what was done on your credit reports, you're not going to be able to move forward. One day you're going to want to use your credit, and this stuff's going to come back to haunt you. And if they go and get a judgment against you, then that's going to hurt you with your job situation on having them garnish your wages or freeze your bank account. If the dollar amount was over a certain amount, on the legal side, what they can do to you is that it's not going to be something like a type of petty theft. This is going to get ramped up into a felony because of the amount. And now people are not thinking. And I've told this story before in the past where one of my former business associates, where we ended up dissolving that business, but he came to me one day and he said, I got this. He said, there's a car out there, and it was one of those Hellcats. That's what they call them. And the car was out there, and he was like, I got it for free. And I said, how did you get it for free? And he said, well, I got the car. I went down there, got a loan, used them, and then filed ID theft on the car. And I said, you don't think that these people are going to come to get the car? And he was like, how are they going to come get the car? I said, when you went there, did you use your driver's license and ID? Yes. When you went there, did you sign on the contract for the car? Yes. For the loan? Yes. Did you use a bank account even for the down payment? Yes. Because they're not going to take cash for a down payment at no reputable dealership. And I said, so you gave them all your personal information. They know that it's you. They know that you were in there. They probably got cameras looking at everything. And then you're going to send the ID theft kit saying, ID theft report saying that you were a victim of ID theft and you think you want to keep the car. And he said, yes. 3 months later, they were all in handcuffs. I haven't seen them since. And when I say all, his friends also fell for the gimmick also. So this stuff, depending on the dollar amount, it could be the repercussions could be a lot worse. Like we're talking about suffering some major consequences. So what we've always advised our clients to do that came to us, or people who just off of YouTube came to us, said, what should I do about this? We tell them you need to be in front of this. Give all the money back if you have it, or get a majority of the money back. Like that's like step one. Step one, do that. And then step two, you can see what you can work out to get the other part of the money back, because what they're going to be worried about at the beginning is just getting the money back. If you did something crazy and you spent all the money, went on a shopping spree, whatever you ended up doing, you got to be in front of this and you got to see what you can work out to pay the money back. Because these people they're going to come bring the hammer down seriously. And some of the times I'll admit, some of the times I think that this is like, is there someone out here that's just telling people to do stuff wrong so they can mess themselves up moving down? Because some of the people who are getting involved in this do not have the income, the job or the income to be able to pay the type of money that they ended up taking back. So it's instead of them being able to move forward in their life, they have another bill, another debt. And that's like the best case scenario, that they just have a debt that they're going to have to pay. Worst case scenario is that they're going to have legal fees, or that they're going to have some sort of mark that's going to stop them from being able to move forward because they have a felony on their record. So it's not that, like, people are not looking at all of the consequences of of doing something like this could do. You're messing with a major bank. Chase Bank is not gonna stand by and allow this stuff to happen and not do anything about it. So if you need help with this, you can reach out to us, and we'll give you tell you what we've done to help other people, and it's most of it is going to just be free information to you, and you can do what you want with it. But I think that knowing the worst that can happen to you based off of what you have done. So when you go to my website, thecreditrepairshop.com, type in there, if you feel comfortable. You don't have to. I'm just saying this is for people who want to be proactive about this. I'm not sharing your information with anybody. I just feel that it's my responsibility to be able to help as many people out of this situation. Because I'm on social media just like anybody else, and I see a lot of people who are like walking, like you're talking about walking into a mousetrap, talking about walking straight into a mousetrap where a person is going to be just popped down, can't get out, and they got every piece of documentation to prove that the person was involved in the whole transaction. Some of these people went up to ATM machines, took the money out, and can't you just be like, hello? It's you might as well just say, hey, it's me, and I'm just gonna go ahead and take the money and deal with the consequences later. Like, it is that bad. That bad. So go to my website if you feel comfortable about doing it. That's totally up to you. And fill in the information, and we'll do what we can do to help you with the situation. Uh, a lot of times when people come to us, we just straight up tell them what to do. There is no fee or no service fee or anything for doing it, because basically we just want to make sure that people don't suffer worse consequences by just thinking that it's going to go away, because this is not going to go away. Trust me, it's not going to go away. We've seen this with people with 1099-C, where they, fell into that false trap, or 1099-A trap, 1099 OID, help people get out of that. The certificates help people get out of that. Made these certificates thinking that they're going to make their own note or their own treasury bill, all of that crazy stuff. So if you need help with your credit, please visit our website. Link is below here. You can see everything that we do. You can sign up. There is no fee to sign up at the beginning, and we'll get started working 100% on your credit to help you get to a better place. If you need your credit reports and scores, go to the website your3scores.com to grab your TransUnion, Equifax, Experian credit reports and all 3 scores. If you have debt collectors coming after you, grab my 3-pack of letters: statute of limitations letter, debt validation letter, and cease and desist collection activities letter. Thank you for your time. Subscribe to the channel. Post your questions and comments. This is Stephen A. Williams, President and founder of thecreditrepairshop.com.